Fit like a bee, Dannyman here, and welcome back to another episode of Train Life, a railway simulator. A few things have changed since the last episode. Now, in the last episode, we delivered 2 wagons full of iron ore to a smeltery up in Bremen, or over to Bremen from Berlin. Whilst I was in the smeltery, there were 2 wagons of refined iron ore to go to, I think it's Dresden warehouse we are now heading for. That was basically the same route that we had just done. I had to head back that way. But one of the things I did do is I was curious to see if when you're passing a station or a warehouse or a factory, etc., can you hit up the radio and radio them to see if there are any contracts that you might possibly be able to take that are going generally in the same direction as you are? And it turns out there is. So I picked up another one. So I had the 2 refined iron ore wagons. And if we come out here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. If we turn around, there are 4 wagons, and the two at the back are grain wagons that I picked up. Now, another thing, they are both heading for Dresden warehouse, which is where we are heading for right now. Now, I drove the distance. I took the train from Bremen to to Berlin, Maine, which is roughly where we started from the last time. So this is where I'm picking it up at. So we'll skip that part of the route because there's a few things I want to do today. So we're going to head to Dresden warehouse. We're going to unload this stuff. I'm then going to go and see if I can grab some passenger wagons, and we will set up a passenger route. Now, a few things have changed. I was recording this in 4K. I've brought it down to, I'm playing it in 4K, but you guys are going to see it in 2K because I noticed whilst I was doing a bit of post-editing that when I go outside the train, so I mean sort of like this camera, or the other camera where you can sort of look around, in certain areas, if the train is doing high speed, it lags out real bad. So hopefully this will eliminate that, because it's a lot easier to record and edit stuff in 2K, so you shouldn't have that issue anymore. Inside the cab, it always stayed above 60 FPS, and it was totally fine. Outside, it dropped down real low. So we should be good now for that, so there shouldn't be any like severe lag. That's not a problem with the game. That was my PC struggling to play the game in 4K and record it in 4K. So that shouldn't be a problem anymore. Now, when we drop off these 4 wagons, we need to go to the left, coming up here. When we drop off this 4 wagons, we should get a decent or a fair chunk of change. The plan is we are going to buy a new train, not something crazy OP, just the next train that's available to us. The slightly bigger version in this, I think this is like an STGG6 or something. I can't remember the name of it, but the next one up is like the STGG9, which is like the red version, and it's slightly bigger. So we're going to grab one of them, and then we're going to go and we're going to grab 4 passenger wagons, and we are going to try out the passengers. We will hire an employee to run this train that we're in now, and he or she can go and do a few contracts for us and try and make us some extra cash money. Now, another thing that changed was when I recorded the very first episode, which was the training one, the tutorial video. That was in the game's first iteration of early access. After a few problems, I noticed other YouTubers were having problems with this, but a lot of the there were issues with the AI trains and the sort of routes that they were taking that were causing problems with signaling. So what they did was they removed the AI trains basically from the game. So when I went to record the second episode, which is the last one, the one from Berlin to Bremen, there were no AI trains because I recorded that episode after the new patch where they removed the AI trains. So that is kind of not so good. But we need to turn left here at this next junction. Because if I go the wrong way here, this will send me on a wild direction that I do not want to go. So yeah, there are no AI trains, unfortunately. You still get fined for things like speeding, hitting animals, crossing into stations without giving them prior warning first. That is also a thing. So yeah, there's still lots you can do. I'm interested to see how the hiring an employee works, and I am interested to see what the new train is. I have heard and read and seen that the passenger lines are pretty OP because you create your own passenger route and you can make it as long and or as short as you want, and you literally get a ton of cash just from moving passengers from one city on the map basically to the next one along, and you can do that in a short amount of time. So we should earn quite a lot of money from that. If we get a decent passenger route going and we make a lot of money from it, I basically will just hire another driver and leave them to drive it, and then we'll buy another train and go off and explore the map as we see fit. So we are passing something here. I think we're going uphill. There's no sign of grade. It is foggy. Now in real life, if it's foggy or misty like this, train drivers are supposed to halve their speed from the allocated speed limit on the lines. Now that we know that there are 0 trains on this route, we are gonna just go to the speed limit because we know there's nothing in front of us, and hopefully this fog will not last forever. Now we are passing something here. I don't know what it is. I could just jump on the radio and ask. It wants us to sort of stay on the left, so we'll do so. And then hopefully we'll get, what is that? It's like a hand smear print. So the Berlin farm, yep, so you can actually do this. So Berlin farm, as you're approaching it, if you check your map, let's bleed off the speed. I think we are speeding, it's okay. So you can go into 3 services and go 3 take. Now they will have contracts. So 9 wagons to Munich grain mill, 9 wagons to Frankfurt food processing plant. Now, unfortunately, those areas are not en route to where we are going. So there's no point in us really taking them. I suppose if you wanted to go further than Dresden, you could drop off your stuff and then go to the next place and drop off more stuff. These trains, even the small ones, can haul up to 12 loaded wagons. There doesn't seem to be a massive, or there doesn't seem to be like an indication of how much weight or max weight that the current train can haul, whether it's empty wagons or fully loaded wagons. So in that way it's not really simulator-ish, it's just sort of like game-ish. Like this can take 12 wagons no matter what's in it, their weight, their type, etc. So that's kind of cool. But once we get to Dresden, we will pick up, I think, something 3 or 4 passenger wagons are fine. You don't get charged for getting the passenger wagons, which I thought was kind of strange. It'd be nice if you had to buy passenger wagons and then you could be charged for their maintenance, etc. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe have other companies on the map borrow them or hire them or rent them from you to earn a bit more cash. But yeah, I really am enjoying this game so far. It's a nice change from the channel, from the constant building stuff. I have just started a new Surviving Mars playthrough, which is a game that I really, really do enjoy, and I'm happy to be playing it again. There was the last and I think final DLC that they were going to produce, and that is the Below and Beyond. So started a new colony on there. That's going to fill in some of the gaps as well until I get the next Transport Fever map up and running. Because the building out the line from Manchester to Liverpool is literally taking me ages. It's taking me a hell of a long time. It's a large map, so it's a large distance between Manchester and Liverpool. Plus, I have to build out a few towns and cities in between. So yeah, that is becoming interesting. Right, so we have watch out animal on the track. Now I've noticed that there are two variants of the animals. One says that there's an animal near the track, so near it but not on it, and the other one says that there's an animal on the track. Now one thing I have noticed is if the animal is on your track and you push X or use the horn key, it will jump out of the way. Come on, jump, buddy. There he goes. Right, you made it. You lived. So Bambi lives to fight another day. If they are near the track, there's a sort of chance that they'll sort of run away from the track off to the side. There is a chance that it can run onto the tracks and you might hit it. Something is weird here. Is there supposed to be a track on the left hand side? I do believe there is, but it is not there. Oh, now it's just appeared again. Okay, that was strange. I wonder if we had been on that left hand side and the track not rendering in would have maybe have caused some issues. But yeah, it's still an early access game, so we need to cut it at least some slack. Maybe this is an undeveloped side of the map. We just do not know. Yeah, if there's an animal beside the track and you sort of honk your horn as you're getting near it, it spooks it, and there's a chance that it might run in front of you and you'll hit it and you get fined for it, or there's a chance that it might run off to the side. I have noticed a deer on the other side of the track, the opposite side from which I was on, and when I pushed X to honk the horn, instead of getting spooked and running off to the side, it ran in front of the train. I'm pretty sure I hit it, but I didn't get fined for it, so I was slightly confused. But yeah, it should have been dead. Now it's asking us to move to the left here. So another thing about this game is it's pretty interesting that it gets you to move around from left to right. And what it's doing there is basically the GPS is trying to figure out which way is the shortest route. For example, when it purposefully puts you through like a sawmill yard or a farm yard or a warehouse yard or a passenger station, when there are lines you can use to bypass those entire areas, it's normally because those areas cut inside of a corner and they are the shortest route. Now the shortest route is not always the best route. Even though they're shorter, you normally have to slow down for those types of areas. Probably from something like 120 kilometers per hour on the main line to something like 50 kilometers per hour going through the yard. So 9 times out of 10 it's beneficial just to sort of bypass those areas. But the game doesn't see it as that, unless you're doing what I did and there is need to go into that area to pick something up or maybe refuel your train or repair it. By all means, go into those areas But if you don't have to, just avoid them. Stick to the main line. It's always faster. It's not always shorter, but it is probably 9 times out of 10 going to be faster. There are some areas of track, even though you're bypassing a facility, where its track speed will slow down even though you're not going in there. So just be wary. I have also been told as well that you can throw your train clear of the tracks. You can derail it even whilst going under the speed limit. So it looks like I've seen some areas where there are signals saying that you might have to slow down as you're coming round a corner. But I've also seen areas where there are steep sided corners and it tells you that you can proceed through them at high speed, and you will derail your train. Even though the game says the top speed is 120, the corner is not suited for that speed. So you need to be careful. So we've got, again, watch out, animal on the track. We are about to hit a speed limit change shortly, and we're going to be coming down. I don't know where that is. So this wants us to go off to the left. We are going to be going uphill, so the train will slow down a touch. Now the signal side, the crossing over, there we go, there's that signal change. I don't see any Bambis. Right, this one is at the other side of the track, so I'm not going to toot the horn. I'm just going to leave it alone. Are we going uphill again? We're just sort of cruising along. We're back up to 80, 120, so that's fine. Yeah, this corner here. So this corner here is quite wild. So maybe taking it at 120 is probably a bad idea. And there is a gradient as well, so it will be going uphill, and that does slow your train down significantly. There was also a rapid decreased speed there that I did not notice. But I've not really been fined for anything yet, which is odd. They did say that they took the AI trains out of the game because they were causing problems and that some of the fines had been removed. I don't think all of them have been removed. But it looks like I've not been fined for anything basically since I've started, so that's pretty good. We're just going to check the map here. So we are coming round. The next port of call is Dresden Warehouse. So once we turn off here, we'll probably radio them in this section right here between these two junctions and let them know that we are coming. Now there is a split section coming up, and this is the one time when you should follow that right or left down at the bottom left hand side, because this will keep you on the right track. One of the biggest gripes I currently have is that the map stays the same way, but only the little train indicator on the map at the bottom left hand side sort of turns. It should be the other way about. The little train indicator, or your little train indicator that you've got, should stay in the same place, and the map should turn around it, because when you're coming down like this, because everything is upside down, instead of being straight in front of you, like left is right and right is left, and it can be confusing. So try and stick to right Q. I'm gonna push over to the left here, and then I need to keep an eye out and find out which way we're going. It's still saying stick to the left, so that's fantastic. Yeah, but that, once you turn it round, is a right hand turn, so it should be facing the other way. I'd like the map to rotate around the vehicle marker, and not the vehicle marker to rotate and have the map be the same direction. It's very odd, but hey ho. So we're back up to 120 here. We're going to stay on the left. I don't see any reason to change over until we get to the next junction. Now, we have Dresden Warehouse. Dresden Warehouse can be radioed. So, 3 services. And we can do 4 deliver. We'll do station access. Dresden Warehouse is now awaiting your arrival. You may proceed through the entry signals without stopping and may freely use our facilities. Right. That's good. We'll come back to the radio later and then we'll do our sort of delivery dance. Now let's have a look outside. It is becoming night time again. I do believe this load could be late, possibly. I think it's supposed to arrive by 9 o'clock. So we'll maybe grab a bit more speed if we can. Even if you're slightly late, or even if you're a lot late, you still will get paid. But obviously you get diminishing returns for being later. So it is weary to try and... It is a good idea to try and get your stuff there on time. Now, I lost quite a lot of time because I went into that Berlin farm to get this flour because it was going to the same place. And even though in my head it didn't take that long because I just nipped in, it was away from the main line though. I had to obviously turn the train around and then come back. So, yeah. It obviously took quite a lot of time. Now there's a passing loop here. That's strange. It's like the tiniest passing loop ever. So if there's a train in that passing loop and it's not simply the locomotive on its own, nothing else is going to get past. Right, how fast are we going? Almost 100 k's. How far are we away? Now if I go to company in my train, yeah, so this one is already done actually. So maybe it had to be delivered for 8 o'clock and the money has gone down. This was at about 70,000. But if we can get at least 50, 60, 70, 80, yeah, we'll be good. Right, so this actually, the time doesn't stop, I think, while you're in here. So keep going, the journey must continue. Once that's done, we'll pop over to Dresden, Maine and grab some wagons. In fact, I may even pop over to Dresden. I might actually just get the wagons here and then we might just drive over to Dresden, Maine and right, there's a speed limit change here, or the speed limit change is coming up possibly for this junction. So we need to be heading to the left. So please, for the love of God, game, do not screw me over. Right, so it's not telling me which set of points I'm supposed to be on. Uh-oh, yeah, right, left. Left is good. Is that a deer? No, it's just a bit of tree clipping through. Don't know where the speed limit change is, but it is up here somewhere. So we're going left and then left again and then left again. Right, so what we shall do is a Dresden Warehouse 2, 3 services. And that's that speed limit change. Let's just bring the power off and sort of coast in. 4 deliver, 2 contract. So 2 wagons from Bremen Smeltery, 2 deliver automatically, 1 back to station, 3, 4, 2, and 3 and 2. So this should deliver them all once we get there. Hopefully, I'm hoping. Delivery cancelled. What? So I have to do them one at a time. Okay, that's fine. Let's just cruise into the station and be wary about what platform we're actually supposed to be on. So when you come into populated areas like this where there's a lot of junctions, it's best to go slow, because if you go too fast, there are points straight after points that you need to change really quickly. So this one we're going right, but then it might be a left and then it might be a right. You just don't know. And then push Q because it wants to go left. And once you enter the start of the points, that's it. It won't change. So we're going left again, apparently. And then we're staying on the left hand side. Okay. Right, so we'll wait for the back of our train to clear everything, and then we'll start delivering stuff. Let's stick the brake on. Apparently fuel's kinda low, but I don't really think it is. Let's change to yellow. Right, slow us down. You stay there, buddy. Don't go on to the tracks. Right, spacebar. Let's get rid of that now. If you push U, it delivers some stuff. So what has it done? It's delivered the 2 at the back. Okay, go to A. 1, Dresden main. 3. Wait, what? Oh. 2, Dresden warehouse. 3, services. 4, deliver. 2, contract. 2, and 2. We are waiting for you. Proceed to the blah blah blah, and then push U again. And there we go. 186,000. Now I want to get to the good old place over there. So go to the map, right? We'll go to this. Okay, so it's just telling me to go straight around. I'm sure that is fine. Well, let's go on. Let's go and buy a new train. We'll grab some wagons to throw on it. We'll hire an employee for this person, and then for this train, and then we'll trundle over to Dresden main, and we'll start a route. We'll probably go a bit south to somewhere we've not really been before. So it was a nice little jaunt down from Berlin. Which way am I supposed to be going here? Go into the cab. So it wants us to stay on the left. That is fine. Do I need to refuel this to give it to the next person? Don't know. No idea. I'm sure that they can do that on their own. Right, wants us to stay on the left again, so that's fine. There, so there is actually a track that comes all the way around and then goes into that area. That's really nice. That's really nice. Right, let's bleed off the speed. Let's add a bit of brake. Because I believe the doors are like, yeah, right there. We want to go into the warehouse. We don't want to crash through the warehouse. That is the original plan. Right, now add a bit of brake again. 2 brake. That should slow us down perfectly. Hopefully. We just need to be in range of the... Come on. Come on. There we go. We should be in range there. 2 notches of brake. There we go. Right, let's get rid of that. And what is it? F to enter services. Okay. Will we refuel it for 12 grand? Sure, why the hell not? Alright, manage by locomotive. So yeah, this is the SG6B, which is not available for us yet. It's not available until level 16, and it costs 350,000. Ah. Okay. Okay. So they've increased the prices. So manage locomotives, yeah, in use. Right. So these used to be cheaper. Now, it didn't bother me that they were so cheap because you could literally, you had to wait till you were at level 16. They were sort of left behind like these levels. So even though the prices were really cheap, you still needed to be a decent level in order to use said train. It looks like they've increased the prices of the trains. We've got 173,000. That's okay, we can still do passengers with the train that we have got. So the next one would be this. Can I see or get a preview of what this train looks like? It is an electric, its max speed is 145, cargo type is all, and train weight is 6,500, so it's slightly heavier than this thing. Max speed is 130, max speed is 115, 140, passengers and postal only, passengers and postage only. Okay, so we can't get the new train yet. That's okay. These UIF, is that diesel cargo? Interesting. Okay, right. Locomotive upgrades, no, we'll leave that for the moment. We've refueled the train, right? So game mode, let's go to passenger and postage. Right, add wagons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of wagons 4, weight 720 ton. A wagon limit is 12, number of wagons 4. Yep, see, it doesn't have, it's got a train weight, but not a maximum train weight that the train can haul. Okay, right, reverse the train and then go back to the game. Okay, so we should have our passenger wagons. We do 4 of. Right, so let's actually create a route. So I want to go from Dresden, Main, and then I kind of want to go south, so let's go to Leipzig. Oh, Leipzig, Main's like off the main line as well. That kind of sucks. Okay. If we were passing through Leipzig warehouse, because it takes mail, we could have dropped off mail as well. We could have added postal onto the back of this train, but we are not going to do that because it means going up there and then coming all the way back down. Then where do we want to go? We'll maybe head to Nuremberg, right? So yeah, Nuremberg, Main. See, I could do it for here because you need to pass through. So I could literally pick up some wagons with 65 mail, for example, like what it says up there, and I could take it to literally anywhere else. But no, we'll stick to Nuremberg, Main. I don't want to go any of these places, but I do want to finish up in Munich. Okay, so there we go. Route planner. Ah, right. That's not actually the route. So, Dresden, Main, Leipzig, Nuremberg, and München. Right. Apply to G. Reverse upon completion. No, just do this. Apply to GPS. Existing GPS route will be overridden with stations from planned route. That's okay. Let's go. So this is our planned route. So what we'll do is we'll head down to Dresden, Maine, and then we'll set up basically for the next episode. So let's go back into the old cabin and let's go. Now it wants us to stick to the left. We are happy to do so. 99% health left, and ooh, that's new. It says reverser on the bottom. I never noticed that. Flashing lights and stuff. Maybe it's something new. Right, so we're past this junction and I want to go to the right and sort of head towards Dresden, Maine. So really here I need to sort of cut across the tracks some way, somehow. Is there a way to do that? Yes. It's not really cutting across the tracks, but hey ho. And then we'll sit outside Dresden, Maine. We'll end this episode, and then in the next episode we'll do a passenger run down to good old Munich. We'll see how much money we get. Apparently it's quite OP. I don't know if I leveled up or got any skills or achievements. It doesn't look like I did, because normally it asks you to add the points in after you've earned them. And it looks like I didn't get any, which is weird because I've done a few deliveries now. That's 3 deliveries. We'll see how we get on with the passengers. Which side do you want me on here there, game? Still on the right? Okay, staying on the right. I've got my finger hovering over the Q button in case at the last second it just throws me onto the left hand side. Dresden warehouse entrance. Yeah, so we wanted to go left here. I don't think we actually went left there. I think it's this next one we have to go to the left. We're about to find out. This could be the entirely wrong way. See, the sat-nav is, the GPS is confusing me because there's yellow lines everywhere, but I think I know why. Because we're going to go down to that station and then come in. Alright, so get ready to push Q. Now we're good. Still sticking to the left. All good. Still staying to the left. All good. The speed limit is 80, but I'm just going to go slow. Now, what we should do here is we're going to bleed off the speed, and we're going to stop before we reach the sort of station limits, because we have to radio them to let them know that we are coming in. So there is a junction up here. We'll just start slowing down yet. Yeah, so there's the edge of the station. There are little dwarf signals or block signals that will tell you to stop outside, and you can't pass through them until you've asked for permission from the station. We'll just sort of creep in. Right, here we are. We're basically at the station now. So give me 2 notches of brake, please. We'll stop before the station signs, and then we shall end the episode there. All good. So a nice little jaunt from Berlin down to Dresden, and then we're going to head out of Dresden, Maine to Nuremberg. I don't know, to Leipzig, and then to Nuremberg, and then to Munich, and we'll see what we actually get. Now it should tell me route planner, company, my train, no contracts. That's weird because I've literally set up a route. I think once I pick them up it gives me them, because there's no passengers on board just now. But yeah, we're good. My passenger wagon's still there. Yep. So that is going to be it for this episode. As always, if you did watch this and you would like to leave a like, comment or dislike, please feel free to do so. And if there is more you would like to see in the future, then hit that subscribe button. But I've been Danny Min, this has been Train Life, and I will catch you later.